Glover, 1972 here. Of course, you know me as Brian. So, this is just a very quick part in the video right here. I picked up one more DVD for free from the library, so I'm going to show it at the very end of this video. So, without further ado, I'll let the intro start at the intro that I had previous to this. So, that'll be right now. Vinegar Glover, 1972 here. Also, you know me as Brian. So this is a long video. We're talking 2 hours and something minutes, and there's more going to be added after I film this introduction. And it's kind of convoluted, this video, because as you will see in the title, it says recent Criterion's pickups, recent Criterion Collection pickups from the Barnes & Noble July 50% off Criterion sale, and then I got some arrows through online off of their website. The 50% then too, because sometimes, you know, I think July and November they also do hold an arrow 50% off sale so they have that as well while they're doing the Criterions. And a little earlier in the year, I bought some Vinegar Syndromes. So, you know, I got those. So I filmed just about everything except there was two Criterions I bought during a May Criterion sale off the Criterion Collection's website, but they had to be pre-ordered, so they didn't come out until August. So that's just the segment I'll be shooting today. So, and today is August the 30th at 7:07 p.m. on a Monday, right now when I'm shooting this. And as you will see during this video, it will be during different periods of time, because this video that you're watching, this whole video, has been shot at various points in time, because like maybe late July or early August, and then maybe I just filmed one. Oh no, maybe I got them all one part, but I split them up. You know, Vinegar Syndrome first, Criterion Collection, arrows. You know, I have one Kino Lorber which I included with the arrows. So after all that, I said, and you'll see it in the video, I said the next section would be my two Criterions that arrive in August. Well, now they're here, so you'll see that part. There is another two other films I'm expecting in the mail, but they're coming very. The progress on that is very slow, and that company's Hong Kong Rescue. I ordered The Killer and I ordered Hard Boiled in May of this year, and my friend in the UK, Sasha, you know, Sexy Monkey, he's received Hong Kong Rescue discs, and Asian Movie Enthusiast, I think, has some as well. But like a person on YouTube, Mr. Tony the Dead, I believe he ordered either one disc or several discs in March. I ordered it in May. I've been getting emails from the guy at Hong Kong Rescue telling about the progress of, you know, him sending out the disc to people who bought the movies. You know, like how he's behind working on the artwork or making, you know, duplicate copies. So I'm waiting forever on that. And initially, when I was, you know, a little earlier, you know, a month or so back, or when it was, I mentioned that Hong Kong Rescue might take forever to get here, and they're still not here. And I said maybe I won't include the Hong Kong Rescues, and I think I won't, because I think, you know, when you see the title at the start of this video, it's going to say Vinegar Syndrome, Criterion Collection, and Arrow Films. I think the Hong Kong Rescues is just going to have to be another video, because it's just, who knows when that's going to come. Maybe it's going to come in October. I don't know. And another thing I'll mention, so I can, get this video going and not stall it too much. But I mentioned that my credit card, that I was paying that off. Well, this month, the Criterion Collection sale from their Criterion website, they charged me for the disc because I had ordered them. So when they were released, they charged me this month. So I have to pay that off. Something else I have to pay. Oh yeah, my Shudder. I changed my Shudder channel streaming platform subscription rate to an annual rather than a monthly. So slowly my credit card's being paid off. So it's getting there. I'm making some progress. But anyways, enough chatter. Let's get to the video. And at the end of this, you're going to see what I received today. So all right, enjoy the video. Hello, Cooper Clever 1972 here. Of course, you know me as Brian. So I'm recording this video. I've received a bunch of movies this month. I've also received a bunch of movies like a few months ago, or maybe a month ago. I don't know exactly when it was. So I thought I'd show you those movies. Obviously, it's July, so the Criterion sale is happening at Barnes & Noble. Also, the Arrow, I think almost all the time, or most of the time, Barnes & Noble, when they have the Criterion sale, they have a 50% off Criterions. They have a 50% off Arrow sale, so they have that. And I bought a few Arrows, not too many, but I bought a few. But previous to that, there was a Vinegar Syndrome sale. I can't remember when it was. April, maybe? So I bought a few then. And you know what? I think with this video, even though I'm recording it in July, this is July 24th, I'm recording this. It's 6:20 in the evening. But I think I'm going to post this. And I know I should post this at the time of July because this is the time when people pick up movies. But my credit card's kind of high. I like to pay it all the way off to zero. So when it's at zero, I'm going to put this on YouTube. So that means like late August, mid to late August, this video is going to be up on YouTube, I believe. Because I just don't feel like I own the movies until I've actually put my actual paycheck into the movies. And the only way to get these movies at this time not for free, to get these movies, to be able to get these movies is by either using cash, obviously, you can do it that way, or through a debit card, or through a credit card, and I use the credit card. So, but I'll put this up. I'm going to put this video up, I think, at the end of, when my credit card balance is zero, which is, I think it's going to be late August, mid to late August. Yeah, and then there's usual things I have to pay for, phone bill and iCloud storage, stuff like that, and food and stuff, So once I can get it all down to zero, I'm putting this up. So I'm sorry if this video is, you're seeing this video now in August, or when, but I'm sorry. I feel better if it's all paid off. So that's what I'm gonna do. So, anyways, let's get going. So, anyways, first movie I have. Well, I do have another movie. Hang on, let me get that movie. Okay, so let me just add a little to this before I get into showing you the movies. Now, there are four more movies coming to me. There was a Criterion sale on Criterion's website in May, I believe. And I bought 2 titles then, but I pre-ordered them. So they're coming out in August. And when I'm billed for them is in August, because that's when they come out. So when I get those, I'm going to wait for those 2. I'm going to add those to the video here. And I also ordered 2 Hong Kong rescue movies. I don't know how far that delay is going to be, because I ordered those in late May. I did pay the bill on that. So that's all paid off, but it hasn't gotten to me yet. The man at Hong Kong Rescue, he's a boutique label like Criterion, Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, but I think he's a one-man band or two-man band or something, so he's very slow, putting artwork on and getting commentaries and all that stuff you need to put on a movie. So I think I'm going to wait for the whole thing to come through. Just a little bit more before I get into showing you all these movies. So I'm trying to save for a trip to Japan, and I think I'm going to go cold turkey, because that's the only way I'm going to, get this trip to Japan off the ground. So that means no more movies. When you see this video, that means no more movies for, until after I come back from Japan. So that's the only way I'm going to be able to, I think, afford Japan. I mean, I've put money aside for it, but I think I really got to hunker down and really put my nose to the grindstone and really save some money. So I've been going on for a little while here, but I just... But the thing is, once you see this video with all of the movies purchased, and well, you know what I said mid-August. I think I mean late August, because or maybe even early September, because those 2 Criterions that I'll be charged for in August, I don't think they come out the same Tuesday in August. They come out. Well, one is Beasts of No Nation. That comes out, I think, the last Tuesday in August. And then the other one is Afterlife, which is a Japanese movie, which I think comes out a week or 2 before that. I don't know the exact dates. I can't remember. But, so I got to pay the bill off on that, too. So my apologies. I know I'm way behind everybody else. I know people are putting up their Barnes & Noble pickups. But and I know I paid for them with a credit card, and I technically own them. I did take the wrapping off the barn, the Criterions. I was going to take the wrapping off when I paid the credit card off, but I wanted to look at them, and I said, "What the hell, I'll open them." So yeah. So anyways, all right, enough talk. Let me get to it. I think I'm gonna. Even though I'm now going to start on showing you the movies, I'm going to stop the video and then start it again, so I know, sort of like putting chapter breaks, like scene selections on a DVD or a Blu-ray, so you know which parts are which. So I'll know in my editing on my iMovie as to where I'm cutting things. So anyways, all right, let's get to it. Okay, so first off, we've got the Vinegar Syndromes, and by this time, when you see this video, I think Sasha might show or he might maybe. Well, I'm talking about Sasha's a friend of mine in the UK, and I got him some movies from the Barnes and Noble sale, the Criterion's this July. Because he lives in the UK and they don't send to the UK, I'm basically his middleman. I'm buying his movies and shipping them to him, but he's reimbursing me, and he always reimburses me. He's very good on that. And so, anyways, I had a birthday present for him because his birthday happened in July 13th. So I gave him this movie. I put the casing and everything of it in his box. So, but it had a DVD and a Blu-ray with it. So I gave him the DVD. I gave him the Blu-ray rather, and the DVD I gave myself. So it's Tammy and the T-Rex, which I thought I wouldn't like because I saw this on Joe Bob Brake's show. So. Last Drive-In on Shudder, and I found it kind of funny. And I mean, it's not the greatest movie of all time, but it's just a fun film. And I was trying to find a case to put it in, so that's why I put it in my Schindler's List case, because I had previous to this. I think I got this Schindler's List at the at the library. I work at the Bethel Library, and people donate Blu-rays and DVDs to the library to sell. So they were getting, they were selling this or whatever. This is the Blu-ray Schindler's List. I had the DVD previous to that, so I think I had 2 copies of the DVD. Oh wait, you know what? It was this. There was a Blu-ray and a DVD of Schindler's List in here. And then I had my regular DVDs. What I did was I gave the 2 DVDs I had of Schindler's List to 2 of my cousins. And then I kept the Blu-ray. And I needed some kind of case to hold Tammy and the T-Rex, and that's where I put it. Because I don't know where else I would have put it. Maybe there's another, a Blu-ray holder or DVD holder that could accommodate another disc, but I knew that my Schindler's List had one space, so I put that there. Anyways, okay, next up, where should we go? Okay, let's go here. So next up is Jack Frost, not the Michael Keaton Jack Frost. This is with Shannon Elizabeth. I think it was Shannon Elizabeth's first film role, or maybe one of her first major film roles. It's I guess it's a Killer Snowman. I've seen it before in Joe Bob Brake's Last Drive-In, so I know I like this movie because it's really funny, and I think it has some special features here, commentary track and video introduction, both by the director and a video interview with the actor and director of photography. And I don't want to get bogged down in details of these movies too much, any of these movies, because I don't know. Maybe I'll say a little, but I just want to show them to you at least. Next up, we got Champagne and Bullets. The cover sort of attracted me to this. I watched a small portion of this film, maybe about 10 minutes or something, and it's kind of cheesy, entertaining, but I guess it's kind of bad. I mean, entertainingly bad? I don't know. The plot sounds interesting, but as to how it's executed, who knows? And it's got a commentary with the writer, director, producer, and star, audio interview with the star, and we edited stuff, and the trailer, and of course with these Vinegar Syndromes they say limited edition of whatever. But me see. There's a poster here, but I'm going to look at it first, because if there's nudity in it, I shouldn't care too much, because I did show the Japan trilogy in a video, a while back, and it had some nudity in it on the cover, or maybe inside the booklet, because I was on Facebook maybe a month ago, and I participated in a film appreciation group, and we were choosing. The topic of the day was movies with priests, so I chose Jeremy Iron and The Mission, and I had Native American women in the back, probably more than one, from South America, and they were dressed like Native American women are, basically more scantily clad, and I got a strike. What would be a strike? I had to be authorized permission to put stuff on my group on Facebook for about a month. So it looks like there's no nudity, so I'm good. But this is the poster that comes with it, and it's got a back one too. So normally speaking, I really don't buy or own a lot of Vinegar Syndromes. And Aaron Pin, who I watch a lot. I'll put his name up here. Aaron Pin is a YouTuber, and he does a lot of streams. Usually, 3, 4, 5 streams a week. A lot of them are detailing. What do you call it? Sales, and so he's Mr. Vinegar Syndrome, because that's the one he highly touts. So I'm trying to get this back, and I see, it's bent. I'm damaging it. See, I'm cramming it in. It should slide nicely in here, but I'm not. Oh, there it goes. I don't care too much about conditions of movies sometimes. If my case gets a little crumpled or whatever, it's not. It's more the case of watching the movie and the special features. I have a lenticular cover for the Criterion of Time Bandits, and when you move it, it makes a little motion. But I had it in the back of my car, under the window, in the back of the car, and the sun got down on it, so it's sort of, the sun screwed it, damaged it a little. But I'm not going to buy a new one. I'm happy with it as it is. So then I bought this one. This is the last Vinegar Syndrome I'll be showing in this video. 6-String Samurai. It's some nice artwork, some beautiful artwork. It's got a nice case, nice hard case. It just sounds appealing. It sort of looks like El Topo and Mad Max and like samurai movies. I'm not really an Elvis guy, and there's like an Elvis influence in the movie, but it's sort of like. Would this be a fair way to put it? I don't know if I'm a boxing person, but I love Raging Bull. I don't think you have to be a boxing person to like Raging Bull. I'm a Scorsese fan. So. And then you get this slipcover. It involves some, like, I guess the plot. I watched a few minutes of it at the start. It's a nuclear war, and I think maybe America's lost it and Russia's won, and the samurai has to claim his place. in Vegas or whatever. I don't know, but it sounds kind of appealing. It's got like a 60-minute documentary on it. So, and the only way I could get the Blu-ray was by receiving the 4K with it. So the reason why the 4K is not there is I'm giving it to somebody else. A mutual friend of me, Sasha and I, is LJ, who's also in the UK, and so he's a 4K player, and I don't have a 4K player, so I offered the 4K to him, so Sasha will be giving that to him when I send it to Sasha. You know, sending Sasha's items that he purchased. Anyways, so it comes with this booklet, nice thick booklet. I think this presentation is beautiful. You know, now be aware that with this video, I don't know if I will show. I don't know if I'm going to show every single picture in every single book, meaning Criterion's and Vinegar Syndromes and Hong Kong Rescue, whatever. I don't think I'm going to do that because it's too time consuming. You already see, well, I'm longer than 11 minutes and 51 seconds because I talked a little before the video, before this portion of the video started. So, all right, so we got those. Those are out of the way. Next up, I'm going to cut it right here and put it in the next section, which is Criterion's. And then the next section after that will be arrows. And included with the arrows would be the one Kino Lorber I purchased. And then the next section will be the remainder. No, well, not the remainder. The next section will be either the two Criterions I've picked up in August, or before that, the Hong Kong Rescues, and then whichever comes first, the other one will follow, and that's the end of the video. So this video might be long because I bought a lot of movies. So I'm going to cut it here, and then I'll come back in a second. Okay, so wait a minute. I'm just going to hold on. Okay, because the reason why I start off like 5 seconds in is because I noticed with my intros, like I have a picture of some of my music sometimes to start off a video. A lot of the time I do, and some music and ending music and a picture at the end of my videos. The reason why I do that, I mean, I just like I like a nice setup, but what I wanted to say, the reason why I'm like, when I started this whole video off, for 5 seconds I didn't even speak, and the reason why I did that is because when I make a cut from the intro titles and music to me talking, it looks like it cuts me off. Like if I start at the 1 second mark, I'm cut off. So I wait 5 seconds in, and then I start talking. And that's just recently something I sort of, well, maybe recently, meaning this video, have acknowledged, you know. So, all right. So now Criterion's. So first up, we got a movie by Bill Duke, deep cover with Lawrence Fishburne. I don't really know anything about this movie, and I sort of, some of these movies I'm going to show you, they're blind buys. This is a blind buy. And some of these movies I bought because, like well, for instance, this one, my friend Sasha, he bought this movie. I don't know if he's seen this movie, but I trust his judgment. I've bought a few other movies in the past that he likes, and some of them he recommended, and you know, I like to watch what he promotes, you know. But I don't really know anything about this. A friend of mine's seen it, so I'll see what I think after I watch it. Only way you know that you'll like a movie is by watching it. You know, that's what I believe. You know, all these people can praise it to the high heavens, or they can damn it to hell. And the only way you're really going to know whether you like a film, no matter how many people say it's good or bad, and even if it's your friends or people of like manner that have the same kind of taste, you're not quite really sure what am I talking about? If you like the movie or not. So the only way of knowing is by watching. Well, I'll give you a director, Ron Howard. Ron Howard to me is a mediocre director. But Cinderella Man and Cocoon I really like a lot. Cocoon's a really good movie. But, you know, you see a movie like Apollo 13, I know it's praised to the high heavens, but, you know, dumb scenes like I'm going up there to the moon, and when Tom Hanks is talking to Kathleen Quinlan. I know I'm digressing here, but... And then Kathleen Quinlan, her character's mother's sitting on the couch, and they're watching the television, and she's saying to her mother's character, her character is saying to her mother's character, Buzz Aldrin sitting next to her on the couch, and she says, "Ma, that's Buzz Aldrin sitting right next to you." And I found that kind of god-awful, you know. That makes me also think of those Times Square kind of movies. Like The Martian is one of those. You know, The Martian was that Ridley Scott that directed that? God, I hate that movie. I like Ridley Scott, but and I like a good amount of his movies. I think Ridley Scott directed that. Am I wrong? Tell me. But I hated that movie, and the but it has that stupid cliche of the Times Square. You know, they might have done it also in other squares like Piccadilly Circus, where, you know, you have those crowd of people cheering, hooray, you know, and they're in the, you know, they're all crowded up in the Times Square Piccadilly Circus. It's so cliched, and cliched is just, it is so predictable and stupid, you know. Okay, next up, Andrei Tarkovsky's Mir. He's a Russian director. I have a few of his movies. I have Ivan's Childhood, which I consider his best film, which is very different from his other movies because, well, for one thing, it's his first, and second, most of his films are very long, and Ivan's Childhood is about an hour and a half, I would say, and he took the reins over from another director, I believe, when he made the movie. And it's very different, I think, from the rest of his movies. Not to say that the rest of his movies are bad, but I mean, it's a really interesting film how it uses sound and visual, you know, the cinematography. But he's made a lot of beautiful films, other beautiful films too. You know, so I have other films of his, like Andrei Rublev. I have Stalker. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah. No, I was thinking of another director. Yeah, but I've seen some other films that he's done. Maybe I have a copy of Nostalgia. I can't remember. But so Mir is another one. I don't know what it has on here. It's got a documentary, interview with a composer, documentary with his son, with Tarkovsky's son, a new documentary about about the Mir. I'm not going to get into total details about all this because it's going to take forever it's going to take a long time anyways for this video to go on, but at least you know, I've covered it. I've covered it to some degree or another. So some nice visuals there. I haven't put these discs. I don't know if I'm gonna take these all out. I don't know if I am. But there's like a burning house there. I have seen this movie, but I can't remember it entirely. So there you go, burning house. And it's, look at this nice. This is what I love about Criterion, thick booklets. Looks like there's a lot of text there. Incidentally, I'm reading Roadside Picnic, which Tarkovsky's film Stalker is based on. And Stalker, I think, was shot in an area of the Soviet Union. It was the Soviet Union at the time they shot it. It was like 77 when it came out. I think it was like there's like chemical waste or nuclear waste in the area where they shot. So I think a lot of the crew and cast got sick, and a lot of them died, including Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky was in exile, I believe, when he filmed. I think his second to last movie was filmed, I think, in Italy, and his last movie was shot in Sweden. Nostalgia, I think, was shot in Italy, and Sacrifice was shot in Sweden, I believe. Okay, next up, we got a director. I've seen this movie before. I liked it. It's kind of grim, I think. That's why I like movies that are kind of tragic ending or grim. This is one, Naked by Mike Lee. You know, Criterion might be listening to people on the internet because, you know, people on Facebook and YouTube. They might be listening to them because people were complaining that they don't have thick booklets. And even, you know, I haven't looked at these Criterions that I've picked up yet. You know, I haven't looked at them in detail, but it looks like maybe Criterion is listening to some people. I do think that Criterion, I think, listens to their listens to people on the internet as to what their what they want to see in Criterion, or how they want Criterion to package things, or if Criterion should have booklets, or what should be the first, what should be the 1,000 spine label of Criterion, and what should be the first 4K of Criterion. And so I think they do listen, you know. But you know, if you know my channel, you know I'm I call myself, well, among other things, like a Criterion whore. I have a lot of Criterions. So you know, Criterion sort of like, I mean, I think Criterion was the first company to have commentaries and special features, which they started on their Laserdisc format. And maybe the first commentary track ever was King Kong. I might be wrong. You can put it down there if I'm wrong. Citizen Kane, I think, was one of the first commentaries. I might be totally wrong. If I am wrong, please correct me. But anyways, so, you know, and then they went to DVD, and then Blu-rays came along, and they did for a little while, they did the Blu-ray /DVD format, where you got a Blu-ray and a DVD together. and then they've now separated it into Blu-rays and DVDs, whichever one you want, format you prefer. And other companies were going for 4K, in the fairly recent past, and I thought Criterion would go 4K, and I wouldn't say I predicted it or something, but I'm not really surprised that Criterion went 4K. I think they just take their time. They only release like 5 titles a month, and I think they put a lot of love and care into each release. That's probably why they only release 5 releases a month. And like 1 or 2 of those sometimes is a release they had previously on DVD that they're now doing a Blu-ray cover of. So anyways, next up is another Mike Leigh film, Secrets and Lies. I have seen this as well. It's got a digital restoration approved by the director and the cinematographer, and conversation with Leigh and the composer, and conversation with the actor, the critic, the interview with Leigh by director Michel Ciment, with critic Michel Ciment, who he did a book on Kubrick. But anyways, yeah, I have seen this movie. I think it's about something like a family affair. That there's something to be explored in a family relationship. I'm sort of recalling this a little bit. Like, the mother character finds a daughter that she never knew she had. I think that's what it's about. But the only Mike Leigh film I don't know. I haven't seen everything in Mike Leigh's. I've only seen a handful of. I've seen those, and I've seen Dara Drake, who's I guess she's a good woman, and she performs abortions on women, young women, and she goes to, I don't want to spoil it. But he did make another movie called Happy Go Lucky. I haven't seen it, but I think it was his response to people were saying to him, all you make are depressing movies. Why can't you make an optimistic movie, a movie that makes you feel good? So he made Happy Go Lucky. I guess I haven't seen Happy Go Lucky, so I don't know. But I assume that's what kind of film it's like. Oh yeah, and I saw this other movie. I saw the Jacob Burns Film Center, and I fell asleep during some of it, and I found it kind of boring. But I think the title of it is called Mr. Turner, and it's based on the I don't know what painting movement is it? Impressionism? I don't know. It's about Turner, the painter. And it was kind of a bore, really a bore. Maybe no conflict in it, and just all these Mr. Turner this and Mr. Turner that. I don't know. It was boring, So, all right, I've got to step away from the video for a second, so I'm going to cut here, and you'll see me in just a second. So I'll be right back. Okay, back with more movies. Back on the Criterion Hall. I do make some blind buys, and this is one of those blind buys. The only thing about it, it's what country is this from? It's a Chinese movie. I don't know. This is maybe it's Hong Kong because it says Cantonese. It's Shanghainese and Cantonese. Maybe it's Hong Kong. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's Taiwan or mainland China. Might be Taiwan or Hong Kong if it says Cantonese. I think Cantonese. I think Mandarin is the most spoken type of Chinese. I don't know much about Mandarin, not Cantonese. I think Cantonese is like informal Chinese. I don't know. If you know, put it down there. But yeah, I love Asian cinema. So, hence, well, if you watch my channel, you know I want to go to Japan. So, buying something like this obviously confirms that for you. Speaking, while I'm going through this, speaking of Japan, that they're not letting anybody in right now. As far as international travelers, they're still vaccinating Japanese people. And according to somebody I watch on YouTube, I think his channel's called Only Japan Go. But anyways, he's an American that lives in Japan, and he has a Japanese wife. But anyways, the point is, he says that the population of Japan is mostly elderly. So inoculating them takes a longer amount of time because of that fact. I don't think Japan is opening up anytime in the near future. So I mean, it'll probably open fairly soon, but not yet. This is by Edward Yang. This is Yi. I bought this. Well, I've heard this movie's good, and there's a YouTuber I watch named Dicey. I'll put his channel up here, and he likes Edward Yang a lot. This is going to be another YouTuber I refer to. I think his channel is 20th and 21st Movies, I think his channel is called. I think I might, as far as his channel title goes, I might go on YouTube to just make sure I got the right title and put it up here, And I found him because he was interviewed by Dicey. Dicey has been doing these beautiful, these very interesting interviews with all sorts of people. So, he interviewed me, but I saw he interviewed all kinds of people all over the world. So I started watching quite a number of them. And I highly recommend watching Dicey's channel. His interviews. He's done some great streams. I've been active on his chats on his streams on the James Bond movies, which took him approximately a year to do. He's still got a few left. He's got Casino Royale, the 60s version. He's got Never Say Never Again. And for some reason, he said he lost For Your Eyes Only. I don't know how. So he's going to do a re-stream on that. I'm not going to do that one again. I was involved with that one. I don't want to do it again. Anyways, the guy 20th and 21st Movies, I think that's the name of his channel. But anyways, he asked Dicey, who are some of your favorite directors? Because Dicey asked people, who are some of your, what's your cinema journey? What films stuck out for you during your life? And what kind of, maybe he asked what kind of directors you like. But anyways, so the 20th and 21st Movies, I know, I can't remember his name, but anyways, he asked Dicey, who are two directors you like yourself? Or maybe he also asked, what are some films you really like? So he said Ozu. And incidentally, I think people are interested in what I'm saying, so I can go off a little here and there. But anyways, just to trail off for a second here, diverse or digress. I think I've watched all my Ozu that I own now, and I really love his movies. It's very contemplative movies. His pillow shots, where he moves from one room and then you see an empty hall for a second. And I didn't know the that the trains going by and the exterior shots actually might symbolize life and death or the passage of time, very subtly, So, but yeah, he said, but Dicey said he liked Ozu a lot. And he said he also liked Edward Yang. And there's a film he recommends, Dicey recommends, called A Brighter Summer Day. It's like 4 hours at least, I believe, which I bought last year or this year. I think during a flash sale. But I bought it a while back. But anyways, and that was directed by Edward Yang. So the other film, Edward Yang, well, I think he's directed a few other films besides these two, but one of the films he directed was Yi. So I hear it's a really good movie. It's got audio commentary with Edward Yang and Asian critic, Asian cinema critic Tony Raines, video interview with Raines about Yang and the new Taiwan cinema movement. So I guess it's a little bit sparse on special features, sorta. Well, the commentary. If you got a commentary, I guess that's not really sparse. So, but anyways, so this booklet. There's a booklet. I guess it's not extremely thick, but it's not bad. Sometimes I read the essays in the booklet, sometimes not. More likely not. I just don't feel like it. But as I say, time and time again, Criterion does a beautiful job on these movies. I'm thinking of something in my head. Watching Aaron's pin streams, talking about Criterion and other companies. I have the Criterion of the Decalogue. I did a video on it. And it's like about an hour video, and then it's one of my few videos that's had many, many views. It's had over 1,000 views. I don't know if everybody who's watched a video has watched it all the way through. Anyways, Aaron talks about a non-Criterion version of the Decalogue that he thinks is way better than the Criterion version. I think it's the Arrow edition, and he says it's got like lots of special features, maybe some short films on it, whatever. And I think, but I've seen the Facets version of the Decalogue. And obviously, I've seen the Criterion, of course. The Arrow version, I don't think I've seen. I borrowed before I owned the Decalogue. The Facets edition was still at the library where I worked. Last I knew. So, but anyways, so the Colors trilogy that Criterion released by Koslowski, who did the Decalogue, Krzysztof Koslowski, that's loaded with special features. I have the Blu-ray of the Decalogue. I have the DVD box set of the what do you call it? The Colors trilogy. The Colors trilogy. So. And there's another thing about me. I only upgrade to Blu-ray. I've only really upgraded to Blu-ray with, like, if there's a Criterion edition that comes out. It's really the only time I really upgrade to Blu-ray. There's only a few other occasions, like Lawrence of Arabia, which I think begged for a Blu-ray, and Citizen Kane, regarded as the greatest film ever made. I did that too. Maybe that's only two. But there's just like a handful of movies I've got on Blu-ray that I had on DVD previously because they weren't Criterion's, obviously. Basically, because they weren't Criterion's, which were like Dr. Strangelove and Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet. I did think of another one that's not a Criterion that I got a Blu-ray release of, but I got it for like $2 or something at the library where I work. That's Clockwork Orange, and that's a pretty nice edition of Clockwork Orange. I'm digressing, so let's get back to the movies. Okay, let's get to this one. I'm trying to stay sort of geographically put films in a certain area. You'll see what I mean, because I think the last two films were Asian movies. Well, yeah, they were Asian. This is another Asian movie. It's Memories of Murder by Bong Joon-ho. I have his Parasite, which and when did that come out? Well, he won Best Picture in 2020. It was a 2019 film. I met him at the Jacob Burns Film Center previous to that, maybe a few years before. He was showing Mother and he was showing Snowpiercer. I have Snowpiercer. I haven't seen Mother. I mean, I have seen Mother, but I don't own Mother. That's what I meant to say. But anyways, I had the host, so I had him sign it. And I have Parasite on Criterion. If you want to see that video, the Parasite video, just go to my November Criterion picks from last year. That's where it is. But anyways, that's his autograph. And this is his Asian movie enthusiast. Asian movie enthusiast. Put his channel up here. He does like a lot of Asian reviews, and there's another movie I'm going to show when I reach the arrows. It's a box that I bought, and where was I going with this? I think he recommends that one. Dicey has a copy of that box set. It's an arrow. I'll show it. You'll find out what it is when I get there. But anyways, oh well, the thing I wanted to say, the Asian movie enthusiast, he says that this film is better than Parasite, and I really love Parasite, so I'm looking forward to watching this. Next up, let's see, where do we go from here? Okay. Okay, let me, I'm sort of jumping around a little bit, but it doesn't matter, I'm sure you don't mind. Here's another film Sasha recommended to me. He says, like, if you're in a grim mood, or is grim the right word? I don't know. If you're in a low point or whatever, this film will lift you up. It's called Local Hero. It's got audio commentary. It's got a conversation between the director and a film critic, shooting from the heart, a documentary about the cinematographer, episode of South Bank show about the production of the film, making a Local Hero documentary made during the film's production, thoughts of maybe I get to meet Alan Wicken. Sometimes, I gloss over these special features sometimes when I do these videos. Well, I don't know. Because I think I might be boring you. So that's why I'm sort of skimming through them. Those old, I don't know if UK people still have these. Because everything's gone, cell phones. We all have cell phones these days. We also had telephone booths in the U.S., but you don't really see them anymore. Everybody has a cell phone now. I guess this film is located close to the sea, maybe? I don't know. Only way I know is by watching. Okay, so this is another film Sasha recommended to me. He said it has like an unhappy ending. It's by Ken Loach. It's called Kiss. And it's got a transfer supervised and approved by the director and the cinematographer, and making of it, and television feature by Loach. You know, if you need to know more about these films, obviously you can just look them up on the internet and dig more into it. You know, 'cause otherwise, this video you're watching would be twice as long. So I hope I'm not boring you, but you know, if I'm boring you, you know. So I think Sasha knows. Well, yeah, Sasha, you know I like depressing movies like Fassbinder and Bergman, and who's another depressing director? Is Antonioni like a... Yeah, Antonioni maybe. Yeah, there's some film directors I like that are kind of grim, but that's Kiss. Let's see, where do we go next? Okay, so next up, this is a film that Sasha bought, and I like Eastern European movies, so I think it's Polish. Is it Polish? No, it's spoken in Polish, Croatian, Russian, German, Italian, and French. So that's a mouthful. So it takes place at the time that East Europe is occupied by the communists. So looks like Stalin there. So, I like to be pleasantly surprised. I do like the blind buy, because sometimes you really get a nice surprise, and I like that. You know, like, well, I was at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2005, or was it 4? 2005 was, well, I've been there like 9, 10, 11 times. Just one, each time I went there was just like one day. But the first time I went there, I met a guy who worked for the mayor's office in New York or something. So he was praising this movie by Fassbinder. Maybe it was the first Fassbinder film I saw. Maybe not. I think it was. The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kahn, and I love that movie. I had the Criterion of it. But that's a story for another video, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, keeping on the theme of my friend Sasha, he bought this for the sale, so I thought of buying it. I was going to buy Spartacus, but I looked on Barnes & Noble's website, and I guess they're out of stock. So, and Spartacus, I think, is not really Stanley Kubrick's. I don't think it's one of his best films. I think it's kind of... It's not really a Stanley Kubrick film. He just did it as a favor to Kirk Douglas, because the director, I think the first director was Anthony Mann. The first 5 minutes of the movie, I think it's around, is directed by Anthony Mann, and Kirk Douglas didn't want him. Kirk Douglas didn't want him directing anymore, so he hired Kubrick. Because Kubrick directed Kirk Douglas in Paths of Glory. And Kubrick had a contract with Kirk Douglas to make 2 more movies, I believe, and he sort of broke that contract. And Kirk Douglas was not amused, let's put it that way. There's a book on Kubrick by Vincent LaBruto, one of the many I've read, but there's like a quote at each start of each chapter, and on one of those chapters it says something like Kirk Douglas is quoted saying Kubrick is a son of a bitch, or he's an asshole, or something like that. So, I guess I'm digressing. Well, no, I'm not digressing. The point is, I didn't get the movie, but it's not real. I think I have all of Kubrick's movies. I just don't. I mean, I do have Spartacus on VHS and Pan and Scan, but it just sits up in the attic, probably ruined, but because the attic is cold and hot, during the year. It's not insulated. I don't think so. What's next? Let's see. Where do we go from here? Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me see. I'll go off with this one now. This is from Vim Vendors. I've heard about this film for quite a long time. Paris, Texas. I think Dicey did a stream on this. I think this is loaded with special features, audio commentary. There's a lot of stuff on here. Ry Cooder's on here. Harry Dean Stanton, Dennis Hopper, Peter Falk. Novelist Patricia Highsmith. Director Samuel Fuller. Interviews with Alison Anders and Claire Denise. The thing that basically pushed me to buy this basically was when I heard this was Kurt Cobain's favorite movie. That's basically what sold it to me, because I love Nirvana, and that's basically what made me want to buy it. Oops, what am I doing? So, this is the first time I'm seeing inside these movies. So, what you're seeing is I'm seeing this the first time as well. I do have I have two other Vendors movies. I have the it's called something like Until the End of the World. It's like a 4 or 5 hour movie. It's a Criterion. I'm looking forward to watching it whenever that will be. And I've had for a long time Wings of Desire. I don't have the Criterion edition, but I don't want it, I guess. It's got a nice feature on it where you can see where locations in Berlin where they shot the film. I think they've done that on Taxi Driver, where you can click on a map and see the location as it looked at the time and then it looks like now. They've done that with some of the Sergio Leone films on the special features. They show you what it looked like when they filmed there and then what it looks like now. And Wings of Desire was shot before the end of the Cold War. Still, at that time period, Berlin was still occupied partially by the Soviet Union. So I think the next, obviously, well, okay, we'll go with this one next. So speaking of sort of treading on the topic of the Cold War, what have you. Spy Who Came In From the Cold. I believe I've seen this. Yeah, Richard Burton is in this, yeah. It's got a selected scene commentary, interview with John le Carre, a documentary on John le Carre's life and work, interview with Richard Burton, conversations between the director and the film historian. So I've seen this film, I believe, once. And I sort of like the fact how it sort of sort of deglamorizes the spy genre, sort of makes it very brutal and raw. And if you've seen this film before, the ending, I love the ending. If you see this film, you'll know what I'm saying. Pretty sure I know what happens at the end of this movie. Haven't seen it in the recent past, but, you know, if you want to see a film that's, you know, I love James Bond movies, but if you want to see a film that, like, takes the sap out of that and, like, makes you rethink it, you know, this might be one of those. This might be one of those types of movies. Oh, and just to go back to it for a second, did I say this? Celine and Julie go boating. Sasha recommended this to me. It's a French film. He was saying like it was regarded as one of the greatest films ever made, or maybe one of the best French films ever made, or it sounded kind of lyrical to me, like a librarian and a kind of playful, I guess. It's a French New Wave movie. I think one of the actresses in Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie by Boom Wells in this audio commentary. I know I'm backtracking for a second, but there's a feature documentary on the director here. Interview with one of the actors. Conversations with some critics about Jacques Rivet, the director. Archival interviews. And the length. I like long movies. Not that, well, if a movie's bad, and even if it's short, it's too long. But if a movie's long but it's very good, I don't mind the length. So, like The Irishman, that's a good example. Okay, next, where do we go from here? Okay, so next up, I'll put his channel up here because I think it's called 20th and 21st Movies. I think that's the name of the channel. I was looking at the recommendations that people that were interviewed by Dicey, he would ask them for recommendations at the end of their interviews. Oh, guess what? I didn't open this. I gotta stop this for a second. Hang on. Okay, so I'm back. This is Christ Stopped at Ivoli, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's an Italian movie. It's got, I guess it's set during the regime of Benito Mussolini, the fascist dictator. Got an interview with the translator and the author, documentary from '78 on Italian political cinema, featuring the director and the actor Gian Maria Volante, excerpt from the '74 documentary, featuring Rossi, the director and author Carlo Levi, excerpt from Marco Spagnoli's 2014 documentary on Unico. Rossi talks with Volante. Trailer. But anyways, so this guy interviewed by Dicey. His channel's 20th and 21st Movies, I think. But anyways, he was giving recommendations, and he highly recommended this movie, so that's what I told him. But anyways, because like in a previous video that I did, it's probably not too far back in my list of videos. But, Dicey interviewed another person who watches a lot of Asian cinema, and that person recommended a movie that I bought as well called, it's not a Criterion, but it's a Japanese movie called R100. So I've bought a few of these films that have been recommended by people that have been interviewed by Dicey. So, okay, what's next? Okay, next up, I own a box set of Abbas Kiarostami, and what else? And then I had two separate movies of his. So I have the Coker Trilogy box set, and I watched everything of that, and Close Up, and Taste of Cherry. I was really impressed. And I wasn't going to buy any more of his films, but I bit the bullet and bought this one, 24 Frames, which I believe is his last film. Yes, it is. So he's an Iranian film director. There's an interview with his son, a conversation with film scholar Jamshid Akrami and film critic Godfrey Cheshire. A documentary about the making of the movie by Abbas Kiarostami collaborator Salma Manshizadeh. But yeah, so I've even it's toyed the right word. I've thought of watching the Coker Trilogy over again. It's so good, you know. But not just Kiarostami Criterion, but I'd like to watch a lot of my Criterions over again because I really enjoy them. And I have watched a number of them over again, like Che. I've watched that a few times. The Last Emperor. I don't know. Blow Up, La Dolce Vita, 8.5. Maybe Tokyo Story. Bitter Tears of Petsymon Khan. I've watched that a number of times. But yeah, that's a good one. Or well, I mean that looks like a good one. Let's see what's next. Since I talked about French films not too short a while ago in this video, this was the last Criterion I received during this sale. It's like I think Sasha said my pronunciation of the French was right. La Piscine, the swimming pool, I guess. I bought it because it has Alain Delon in it. I guess it has an English language version, 2019 documentary with Delon and Jane Birkin, I guess who's a female love interest, maybe. Jean-Claude Carrière wrote the screenplay. He did a lot of screenplays for Buñuel, I believe. The Jane Birkin character, she's a younger character. She's not the Romy Schneider, I guess is the love interest of Alain Delon. I don't know. I think maybe they're divorced. According to the back here, he's Alain Delon and his wife. Maybe they were just cast because they thought they would be good for the movie. In any event, yeah, because I have another film that Alain Delon is in that I've watched a few times. Jean-Pierre Melville's Le Samurai, and I think she makes an appearance in that movie too. So I can't remember. I don't know. That's a good one, The Samurai. That one. A lot of the Jean-Pierre Melvilles might be out of print on Criterion. They did re-release one called Army of Shadows, which, like Fassbinder's World on a Wire, well, Army of Shadows he made in '69, I think. Then he died in '73, and it wasn't re-released until 2009. But it had a limited licensing deal with Studio Canal. Criterion did. So once the licensing deal stopped, they didn't make any more. Same with Third Man, and Ron, and a number of other, mostly French releases. Because Studio Canal is a French film distribution company. Okay, so what do we do next? Okay, next one up. I think this is French. Yes. Olivier Assayas. I think he's the guy who directed, what's that movie called? About the Jackal, Day of the Jackal guy. I don't know. I can't remember it. I have it. I have a blank disc on it. There's a Criterion of it. I can't remember the title. If you know the title, put it down here. I think it's a really long movie. It's like the Day of the Jackal thing. It's a Criterion one. But I think it's the same guy who made it. Interview with Assayas on the set. Interview with Assayas in 2003 with the critic Charles Tesson. Interview with 2003 with actors Maggie Chung and Natalie Richard. Documentary on the actor originated the role of Irma Vep. Silent film of the 6th episode about those vampires. A 2020 address on the state of cinema by Assayas. Short film by Assayas in '97. So, I don't know, maybe this is a mixture of French cinema and Asian cinema that made me pull the trigger on this. I guess that's made me want to buy it. And speaking of today's Saturday, there was a film. I had thought of buying one more Criterion today, but then I said, you got to really stop. So I did. I didn't buy it. But I was going to buy The French Lieutenant's Woman. But the town I live in, they have a copy of it at their library. So I'm not going to buy it. I looked at the trailer. I said, stop. So I stopped. So. This one is African movie from '68. I think it's Senegal. Yes, and it's the second feature. First film ever made in an African language. Made by, about, and for the inhabitants for its home continent of Africa. So it's got what's Nindabi, in case you were wondering. The money order, I guess is what it means. It's got introduction, conversation, new program, outtakes. There's a lot of features. There's a lot of special features on this one. It's a new introduction, new conversation by a film scholar, new conversation with the author and the screenwriter, sociologist and feminist activists, new program about the director Osami Sembine. Short film that he did in '70. So, and Criterion has I guess they're addressing an issue, and that issue they're addressing is their lack of black filmmakers in their catalog, whether that be African American directors of, that live in and make films in America, and African filmmakers from the continent of Africa. So, nice thick booklet. But anyways, they tried to they tried to address that problem because they were sort of called out on it by the New York Times. So they've made a few. They did Do the Right Thing. They did Bamboozled by Spike Lee. I think those are the only two Spike Lee films they did. And they did a film called Symbiotaxiplasm, which I haven't watched. But just a handful of people, a handful of directors. So they're trying to rectify that. Or George Washington, that might be another. And this is one of those films that rectifies. I guess this is one of the films that's trying to rectify the situation. So coming up in the future in September, they've got Love and Basketball, and then they've got a box set of Melvin Van Peebles films. With the first blaxploitation film, I have a copy of it, but it's not Criterion, obviously. But it's a Sweet Sweetback Badass song. So they have that in this box set coming up in September, with his son's film, which is a docudrama remake of his son playing his father, and that film's called Badass, which I have a copy of that as well. So, but those two films and other films of Melvin Van Peebles will be included on this Melvin Van Peebles box set that Criterion is releasing in September. So, okay, and so this will be the end. This will be technically it's the third to last Criterion, because there'll be two more Criterions I'm going to show you, but it'll be delayed because it'll be in August by that time. So anyways, here's the next one. This is a DVD. You can only get it as a DVD, I believe. It's Man Bites Dog, but I bought it because of the how it addresses the violence. I don't know if it has much on here. Interview with the filmmakers, a 1989 short by the filmmakers. Yeah, it's pretty sparse on special features. It's a French movie. I know it was on Criterion Channel when I had it, but I never watched it. But I don't know. Maybe it's in the vein of... there's another film I have on Criterion. I've had it for quite a while. It's by Michael Powell. I guess it ruined his career. Called Peeping Tom. I think it's out of print now. Criterion. And but anyways, I think it sort of is in this kind of vein, So, all right. So that's the end of that. There will be the next section coming up is the Arrow section, and then there'll be two more sections to finish off the video. There'll be the either first the Hong Kong Rescue, or second the two Criterions. So the Hong Kong Rescue will be two. So enough. Let's get to the Arrows now. So right, let's get to that. All right. Okay, so now we get to the Arrow part of the video. So, all of these pics are Japanese except for the first one. And I have a few Japanese Arrows. I have the Female Prisoner Scorpion box set, which I borrowed from a friend of mine and bought my own copy of a while back. which I love to death. And I have and Meiko Kaji's in those, and she's incredible, and the special features on that are fantastic. I also have the Lady Snowblood Criterion of her in that, and not different edition, Criterion, that the Lady Female Prisoner Scorpion is a Arrow, but I'm digressing. I'm talking about Criterion for a second here, but the second Lady Snowblood film is not that fantastic. But anyways, I have also another film, another Arrow with Meiko Kaji, which is called Blind Woman's Curse, which I haven't watched yet. And they also have, in their catalog, they have Stray Cat Blues, which is it called Stray Cat Blues? It's called Stray Cat. I think it's called it's called Stray Cat, and I think it's called, the whole thing is Stray Cat Blues. I've seen that streaming. I'm not totally impressed with those Stray Cat movies, but I've seen them anyways. I'm digressing. So, we should turn the light on. Deadbeat at Dawn. I saw this film on Joe Bob Briggs' last drive-in. I thought it was really impressive. Maybe not totally impressive. It still looks kind of amateur, but the director, Jim Van Bieber, I guess Joe Bob was saying that he went to a college where there's a high dropout rate, but he went there so he could access the film equipment. And you have to remember back in, I think it's the late 80s when this came out, you didn't have access to iPhones and computers at the time, so, like laptop editing wasn't a thing. So, but anyways, he shot this movie, and he did like a lot of guerrilla filmmaking without permits. Like he hung from, was it him? From a parking garage, and the cops stopped by and said, "Stop it," and they said, "Okay, we'll stop." And the cops left, and they kept on doing it. And then there's a shot where he drives a car off a bridge into I guess it's a river, and he jumps out of the car. I think it's the director himself, and he misses like this cement block or whatever by like a centimeter, because if he went just by a centimeter, he might have paralyzed himself or killed himself or something. And then at the very end of the movie, he's hanging onto this car going down an alleyway, and he sort of busted up his ribs a little. So raw filmmaking, guerrilla filmmaking, but a lot of passion. That's what I like about it. And it's got a commentary by the director and an actor and guest, moderated by a filmmaker. I know I'm being vague here, but you can look it up on the internet if you want to know more details. There's a retrospective on Van Bieber and the Debbie legacy. His college films and much more, and a behind-the-scenes documentary on a failed film he made, and commentary, some short films. Emotional trailer for, I guess, a film that was never made. Nice cover, beautiful art. Arrow has these this nice art in there. Very nice artwork. I bit the bullet with Arrow with this sale because it was 50% off, like Criterion's. So that's why. Arrow is a British company, so just to let you know. So maybe they're are they really? I don't know. Maybe they're the British Criterion, or maybe BFI is the British Criterion, or maybe they both are. I don't know. This is technically a box set, but it's in a case that's this thin. It's the Blade Society trilogy by Takashi Miike, And it's got Shinjuku. Oh, this is it right here. Shinjuku Triad Society. Rainy Dog and Ley Lines. So I like the arrows a lot because they're loaded with special features. This really doesn't have a ton of special features. But got interview with the director, interview with the actors. It's got commentaries for all 3 films, so that's pretty good. Got trailers for the films, reversible artwork. So. Next up, I'm trying to work on this album. I have guitars and so I wrote a poem called Hiroshima with Love because I've written a lot of poetry in my past, and I put it on Facebook, and then I saw it because they do these reminders, like something you put up on Facebook a few years ago. So I read the poem. I think I had it stored in my computer anyways on one of my hard drives, the poem. And then I thought of a concept album, like The Wall, and Quadrophenia, and Tommy, and Dark Side of the Moon, and Wish You Were Here, kind of thing. So I thought of the atomic bomb, on Hiroshima. So, I've been, in the past, I've dabbled with the guitars and with the keyboards, just composing music and not knowing what to do with it. But I might use some of that for the Hiroshima album. But anyways, I thought, like books on Hiroshima might help flesh it out more, the album. Maybe not, maybe I don't need them, because it's just music. I don't know, but I saw this in the, I guess it was displayed on one of the pages on the Arrow. Maybe I was looking at Japanese films on the Arrow website. So I found this, Hiroshima. It's got a Suzu Yamada from one of maybe my favorite Japanese film, which is Throne of Blood by Kurosawa. It's one of my favorite Japanese films and one of my favorite foreign films, not spoken in English. The archival interview with one of the actresses. 73-minute documentary with survivors of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombings in the United States, with an introduction by the director and a video essay, Hiroshima Cinema, Japan's Nuclear Imagination. So that's why I bought this. Here, that was kind of a nasty event in war history. I don't want to say something too political here, but I mean, we criticize other countries for developing nuclear weapons, and yet we dropped 2 atomic bombs, in the United States, So there's nothing really good that comes out of dropping an atomic bomb. I think it led to several birth defects and diseases and stuff for years to come in Hiroshima. And Nagasaki, I would say as well. I guess that's what I guess that's what what am I talking about? Oh, made Godzilla a big thing because of the atomic bomb. So I'm not a huge fan of Godzilla. He's just a guy in a rubber suit, for me. Maybe I sort of liked him when I was a kid because I was less critical and all that stuff. I think I like one of the not King Kong, Godzilla movies. I don't think the Matthew Broderick one, the one that was made after, wasn't bad. I thought. I'm not a King Kong Godzilla guy. You know. I don't know if I'm a King Kong guy that much either. I like the Peter Jackson King Kong. All right, so next up, I saw this in Dicey's shelf. I've seen one of these films. I wasn't totally won over by it, but what sold me on this box set was the fact that the guy that... See, the thing about buying movies is like films like Cold Mountain, I don't like. Too long, terrible movie. But the special features are fantastic. I don't think it's a commentary, but really gets into detail about how they made the movie. It's really fascinating. So anyways, but it's the Solid Metal Nightmares, the films of Shinya Tsukamoto. And I think Asian Movie Enthusiast has a copy of this as well. In any event, he made this film called Tetsuo the Iron Man. I think that was his first claim to fame. Anyways, the thing I like about this guy is he produces, he directs, he edits, he writes, he does the music, he shoots. But he's a one-man band, you know. Maybe he has some people helping him out a little bit, but I like the fact that he's making it happen. That's what I like about it. So, I don't have Children of the Corn. That's just advertising in there. Here's the second disc, Tokyo Fist. These are, well, I'll look at the back of the box and I'll tell you. I won't tell you every single little thing, but I'll go into a little more detail for you. And I'm just showing you these because there's text down here, but rather just get to it on the box. So I think there's 2 films per disc, and there's more than that. There's a bunch of short films and lots of documentaries and commentaries and everything, I think. So, yeah. Okay. Nice hard box. I really like the really tight. I mean, really hard. He's remained steadfastly independent, garnering widespread acclaim. It's too much to read here on the body horror. A lot of stuff here. Warriors, samurais, cyberpunk. But it's like everything's got commentaries and commentaries by Japanese cinema expert Tom Mess on all 10 films. Japanese cinema provocateur extraordinaire Tsukamoto. Wait a minute. Career-spanning interview with Shinya Tsukamoto. Assault on the Senses, a visual essay on the films and style of Shinya Tsukamoto by Japanese cinema expert Jasper Sharp. Multiple archival interviews with Shinya Tsukamoto covering every film. Making of Vital featurette. Archival behind-the-scenes featurette on Vital's world premiere at the Venice Film Festival. Archival featurette on vital special effects, the making of Hayes, an archival behind-the-scenes featurette on the film's production. Corey Fuji at the Locarno Film Festival, an archival featurette focusing on Hayes' lead actress, archival background to the adventure of Denshu Kozo featurette, Tokyo Fist, Bullet Ballet, and vital music clips. Multiple trailer and image galleries, sleeves, newly commissioned artwork, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot there. If you want to know more detail, just look this up on Google. Just Google this. The Arrow release of Solid Metal Nightmares, the films of Shinya Tsukamoto. Shinya Tsukamoto. So that's you can look it up in more detail. Because I don't want to make this video is probably going to be really long, but anyways. And then to wrap this portion of the video out, this is not Arrow, but I'm including it because it's just one release. There was a Kino Lorber sale. I bit the bullet yet again, and but it was a Buñuel movie. It was for sale. I have a lot of Buñuel's films, maybe all of Buñuel. No, that's not true. Almost all Buñuel that I own is on Criterion. I have a few Buñuels that are, well, I have Belle de Jour on Criterion, but I also have a Miramax of Belle de Jour, and they have different commentaries. That's why I own both of those. Sort of like with the Godard movies, Weekend and Breathless, commentaries on the non-Criterions, and lots of special features on Breathless, and some on Weekend. But both versions of Weekend, which is my favorite Godard movie. But I'm digressing. But I do have a few Buñuel Kinos, which are his first film, Un Chien Andalou, they did with Salvador Dali, and his second film, L'Âge d'Or, the Golden Age, I believe that is. But anyways, he made this movie called Tristana with Catherine Deneuve, and also one of his regulars, Fernando Rey. So, it's got a commentary. The type is so small on this visual essay. The commentaries with Catherine Deneuve and critic Kent Jones, a 2012 alternate ending. Visual essay featurette with Peter William Evans. Restoration trailer. Not too much special features, a little bit. And I think there's a little bit of a booklet here. Let me see. So, it also comes with this advertisement. Oh, it's actually, this is foreign cinemas. I don't know. It's Buster Keaton. But that's digressing. That's not. Timbuktu's on here. I've seen that. So, but yeah. Catherine Deneuve right there. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't. I know a little French, but I don't know how to pronounce French. So that finishes that portion of the video. So the next thing you're going to see, either first or second, is a Hong Kong rescue, followed by the two Criterions, and that's it. Cold turkey after that. So this is what you're watching right now is July 24th, Saturday, 8:06 p.m. at night. So this video is probably going to be a month later or something like that, because maybe it'll be even longer. I don't know. This Hong Kong Rescue guy, I ordered those 2 movies in, was it May? I'll wait it out as long as it takes. He's reliable because my friend Sasha's received he lives in the UK, my friend Sasha, and he's received all of the all the Hong Kong rescues that he ordered. And this guy, Hong Kong rescue guy, is in the US, and I think Asian Movie Enthusiast has received all the Hong Kong rescues he's ordered. However, there is a person on YouTube, Mr. Tony of the Dead, whom I've talked to, through the chat on his channel and on Aaron's Pin's channel, and I don't know if Mr. Tony of the Dead is watching this. I don't know the status on his Hong Kong rescue orders. He was saying that he ordered his orders in March, and he's still waiting on them. And I ordered Hard Boiled and The Killer in I think it was late May, and I'm still waiting for them. And the guy that is he makes the movies himself. He gets the best transfer. He puts the artwork together. He puts a Blu-ray menu together. He puts all the special features on. But I guess he has he doesn't have enough machines for he doesn't have enough machines to supply and demand or whatever. It's just it's maybe you have 1,000 orders, but you only can make 500 orders in 1 month or something, so it takes twice the amount of time, something like that. So that's why it's taking so long, I guess. So let's just suppose that I get my orders of Hong Kong Rescue in October. I've paid for the Hong Kong Rescues already. They're already paid off. But let's just say in October, that's when I get them. So if that's the case, then when you see this video, it'll be October. So I can't do anything about that. That's totally out of my hands. But whenever that happens, you'll see the video. So let's go to the next part. And thanks for watching for so far, and I'll try and get this video done fairly soon. Okay, I'm back with another portion of the video. This video is probably going to go on longer because so a monkey wrench or whatever was thrown into this a bit. I bought more Criterions. I know I said I'd stop, but I went on vacation to see my mother's extended family in upstate New York, and there's a Barnes & Noble up there, and a friend of mine who I get Barnes & Noble titles for because they won't send it to the UK. I couldn't find it online what he was looking for, but the store up there had a copy of it. And while I was there, I bought a whole bunch of more Criterions. But my conservator gave me some money for going up north, so I don't feel too bad about it. I don't think it really wasted money, really. So I'll show these, and then, as I said in the previous section, you're going to see the 2 Criterions that will come in August. Right now, at this point in the video, it's August the 2nd on a Monday, and it's 8:16 at night. But anyways, I picked up these movies. I took the wrappings off, but I didn't look inside, so you seeing this inside, I'm seeing it as well at the same time. But anyways, the first one's General Idi Amin Dada, Self-Portrait. There's a movie that Forrest Whitaker was in. He won an Oscar for. called, what was it? The Last King of Scotland, with what's his name? James McAvoy. But anyways, Forrest Whitaker played Idi Amin, who was this brutal dictator in Uganda, Africa. So this is I believe a documentary about the real guy, the real Idi Amin. I think he died in Saudi Arabia. I think he exiled himself there, like the head of Iran, the Shah of Iran, before the revolution in Iran in the late 70s or early 80s. The Shah was, I think he was in poor health, but close to the time he died, and he went to several countries, and I think maybe America's where he died. But anyways, I don't think the Iranians are pleased with him. I think the American government funded him, and maybe they're getting oil from him or something. So I guess that's why the Iranian people are sort of mad at the Americans. I think it's much more complicated than that, and then younger Iranians like American culture and all that stuff. It's very complicated, But I've started to go off on a rant there and talk about politics, and that the Idi Amin movie made me think it led me there. So anyways, let's go to the next film. This is The Tin Drum. I've seen this before. It's by Volker Schlorndorff, or how do you say this? Volker Schlorndorff. I have seen this before. I've seen this once before. I don't know if I was wild about the movie, but it's very controversial. There's a scene with nudity, and I don't know how old the kid was when he was making the movie. Is this a Nazi movie? Yeah, I think it's swastikas. Yes, it is. It's Nazis. Yeah, it's Germany, I believe. Yeah, well, no, Volker Schlorndorff is German, but I think he looks like a kid, and he's growing up, but he doesn't his hormones aren't. Well, I gotta be careful showing this. She's covering her breast, so I don't want to show that. I mean, you don't see the nudity, but I'm not gonna risk it, But there's a scene with a woman naked, and I think she's naked in the film, and the main character. That's one of the controversial things about the movie. If it was a book, I think the book was written by a guy. Well, I work at a library. The Tin Drum was written by Gunter Grass, I believe. So, but anyways, that leads into the next movie, and this one just sort of leapt out. I when I saw it's directed by Volker Schlorndorff, again the same guy that did Tin Drum, based on a play by Bertolt Brecht, and it has Rainer Werner Fassbinder starring in it, and I love Fassbinder's films, and that's Fassbinder on the cover there. So, maybe that's a reference to something in the Bible or something, like a idol or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Oh, and I didn't read the special features on the other ones. I'll do that in just a sec. But anyways, because Fassbinder is in this, and I think maybe it's close to his death, because he died in the early 80s, I believe. And the cast comes from Fassbinder's troupe of theater actors, including Margaretha von Trotta, who played Petra von Kant, I believe. And you got interviews from 1973 and 2015 with Schlorndorff, new conversation between actor Ethan Hawke and playwright Jonathan Mark Sherman about the play and adaptation. So, Mike, if you're watching this, Ethan Hawke is on this movie, Bow, on the special features. His conversation between him and playwright Jonathan Mark Sherman about the play and adaptation of this Bow. So I know you like Ethan Hawke, so just to put that on your radar. New interview with actor and filmmaker Margaretha von Trotta. New interview with film historian Eric Rentschler. So, and let me just rewind, back up for a second, look at the special features here. Tin Drum. I think there's a lot of stuff on here. The interview with new interview with Schlondorf about the making of the movie and the creation of the complete version. An interview with film scholar Timothy Corrigan. German audio recording of Gunter Grass reading an excerpt from his novel The Tin Drum. Illustrated with a corresponding scene from the film. A television interview excerpts. That's pretty interesting. Having while he's talking, you're watching the movie. Television interview excerpts featuring Schlondorf, Grass, actors David Bennett and Mario Adorf, and co-writer Jean-Claude Carrier, who wrote some scripts for Buñuel. And Idi Amin, let's see what it has. It doesn't really have that much. It has a 2001 and a 2017 interview with Barbet Schroeder, who made. I guess this is a documentary. And a new interview with journalist and author Andrew Rice about Idi Amin's regime. So that leads us to the next movie. This is, I think, 1930. 1930. It's by G.W. Pabst. It's West Front, 1918. And it's got an hour-long French television broadcast of World War I veterans reacting to the film in 1969. Interview from 2016 with film scholar John Christopher Horak. New restoration demonstration featuring Martin Korber and Julia Wallmüller of the Deutsche Kinemathek. Brief audio interview from '88 with editor Gene Ozer. So, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like made me think of Pass of Glory or All Quiet on the Western Front. I think this is an anti-war movie. I don't know. This was sort of a blind buy. I didn't really know that much, but I think G.W. Pabst is a celebrated director, so I thought probably not a bad buy, What's that? Dead Bodies, I think. So, and then the last part of this video you're watching here, this additional part of the video that wasn't mentioned. Well, I might put. I recorded a intro for this whole video. I might put an intro before that intro, re-explaining what's happening now. So, but I don't really feel bad about this part, buying more Criterions, because I had some money for travel, and that's how I pay for this, So, and anyways, this is an Eclipse box set, and I've got a whole bunch of Eclipse Japanese Eclipse sets, and I think all the Eclipse sets in the Criterion Collection are DVDs. But anyways, this is Kinoshita and World War II. So that's another Japanese Eclipse set. These are like World War II propaganda movies, sentimental films about the inherent goodness of people, especially in times of distress. He made his directing career during the most challenging time for Japanese cinema, World War II. And and one after the surrender. So Port of Flowers, about 2 con men trying to swindle the locals. Living Mango Ruku, under pressure from rape neighbors, a wealthy rural family must decide whether to cultivate soil that hasn't been tilled for centuries in order to aid the war effort. Jubilation Street, a close community of resilient people, must evacuate their beloved neighborhood in the gentle drama about life during wartime. Army, this has Chishiryu in it, and Kinyo Tanaka are unforgettable in Kinishida's controversial film about a young man being shipped off to war and the reactions of his mother and father. It makes me think of a Russian movie. I can't remember which one it is. The Cranes Are Flying or Ballad of a Soldier, which I think is, that particular film has, I think, sort of the same kind of a premise. And then this one is after the war, Mourning for the Oson family. After Japan's unconditional surrender, Kinoshita made this family drama that functions as an angry indictment of Japanese imperialism. So that's what I picked up on Sunday, yesterday, when I was in upstate New York. So that's the end of that part of the video. So now next, you're either going to see the Hong Kong rescues, and I don't know what's going on with that, because I ordered those in May. I thought I'd get them maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, and I'm still waiting for them. And it's now August 2nd. This guy's really slow, this Hong Kong rescue guy. And I think I will include the Hong Kong rescue part of the video. It won't be a separate video, I think. I think it's going to be in this video. If I change my mind, maybe I'll record another part of the video, put it at the start, and say, I'm not going to talk about Hong Kong rescue. I'll put that in another YouTube video. But yeah, I'm waiting for that. But I'm also waiting, and now it's August, so finally those other 2 Criterions will be released into their collection. One of them is at the end of at the end of the month, and the other one is somewhere in the midst of the month, maybe in the middle of the month. I don't know, but they release on Tuesdays, usually, movies. So that means that at least by the end of August, you have to wait for this video to be seen on YouTube if I decide to do that, which I think I will. So enough chatter. Let's get to the next part of the video. Okay, here's the last part of the video. I did record this last part earlier, I don't know, half an hour ago, maybe an hour ago. And, it's the 2 releases that I received from Criterion's website from the sale they had in May. And the releases were released this August, so one of them being tomorrow, but I got, a day early. But anyways, I'll try this again. Hopefully it won't black out, this part of the video that I recorded earlier. At a certain part, it just blacked out, and you could hear my voice, but you couldn't see any image. So let's try it again, see what happens. Anyways, Beast of No Nation. This is supposed to come out tomorrow on Criterion. It's about a boy soldier. I haven't watched it, but it says in the back. It's about a boy soldier that, gets, I think he gets trained to become a soldier by a guy played by Idris Elba. So he starts becoming, losing his innocence or whatever, and it's set in it's Beast of No Nation, and it's set in what do you call it? A West African nation that you don't hear, not one that you hear of, but just a made-up one. I don't know if there's a country that they mentioned, but it's just a West African nation. But anyways, so Idris Elba's in this, and it's directed by Kiri Jaji Fukunaga, and it's an audio commentary featuring Fukunaga and first assistant director John Mallard. New documentary in the development and making of the film featuring interviews with Fukunaga, author Uzo Dinma Iwela, actors Idris Elba and Abraham Ada, and producers Amy Kaufman, Daniela Taplin-Lundberg, and Riva Marker. New conversations between Fukunaga and film and television producer and cultural commentator Franklin Leonard. New interview with costume designer Jenny Egan. Trailer. And an essay by film critic Robert Daniels. So, and then I'll open it up and I'll show you what's inside. So you got the disc. Hang on a sec. Where is it? Is this right? No, it's the other way. There we go. So there's the disc. And you can see it, I don't know. I guess these are soldiers right here. So, with guns and stuff. And then, of course, I guess it's a pamphlet. You got this right here in the front. Got that there. Got these pictures here. Wait a minute. That one there. This one here. Yeah, I showed everything. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to this. My friend Sasha, who I mentioned earlier in the video, I think I said in this video, I'd have to go back, but because he's in the UK, he can't have Barnes & Noble and Criterion orders shipped to him, so I buy it for him, he reimburses me, and I ship it to him, and he reimburses me. But I also said, I think it was in this very video that I'm showing you, that, what did I say? Well, I think I said that if he did a video, maybe if he does a video showing the stuff that I sent him, he'd probably put it up on YouTube before I put this one up. But I'm delayed sending his package to him, and it'll be I'm going to send it to him sometime after September 12th or after, because my billing cycle for my credit card starts every the 12th of each month. The next movie, and the last movie in this video, is Afterlife. It's this Japanese movie about when people die and they focus on a memory and how, like, I guess it's the plot. They subsist on that memory. It's like, sort of like a unique way of dying or something like that. Like they this concept of heaven is kind of interesting. I guess the film is trying to convey. This film was highly well. Yesterday on Aaron Pinn's stream, Asian movie enthusiast really said this is a good movie, so I'm looking forward to it. And it's Japanese, and I want to go to Japan, and sort of that's why I'm cutting down on the spending. But anyways, it's directed by writer-director Hirokazu Koreeda, with audio commentary featuring film scholar Linda C. Ehrlich, interviews with Koreeda, and cinematographers Masayoshi Tsukida and Yukato Yamazaki. Deleted scenes, plus an essay by novelist Viet Tan Nguyen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I work in a library, and he has a book a novel. I think it's a he. But that person wrote a novel called The Sympathizer, which goes out a lot at the library. I have no idea what it's about. So, but I know his novel, The Sympathizer, goes out a lot at the library. So but yeah, so here I am again showing these images. You know, these two, showing what's inside these inside the two cases in the movies I received today, because for some reason, I don't know, I was recording this and, well, you know what, I did see like me freezing at a certain point when I recorded this before, so that must have been the point where it just blacked out. So it's going, looks like it's going good now. So I think if I put this into the timeline of my iMovie video, it should work fine. But enough talk. I'll just say in other news, I'm working on the Hiroshima album here and there. I've been working on it fairly recently. I put in maybe a few more guitar things in, and I've been writing some more lyrics. Yeah, that might take a while. I did say in, I think, a previous video that's going to take a while. But I like it. I'm looking forward to putting it together. I think when I might have to buy another external hard drive for that particular album, because I think I'm going to present it sort of like a movie kind of a thing, like an abstract art kind of slideshow kind of a thing, maybe. Like while you're hearing the music, you'll see slides of like World War II, you know, Hiroshima, the bomb, and maybe images, you know, like cherry blossom trees and, you know, Buddhas. And I want to make it real intricate, you know. I want to put a lot of good work into it so it really shines. So, but I guess that wraps it up. So anyways, people have closing remarks. They have a catchphrase. I haven't used this in a while, but I don't know if I'll use this all the time, but I'll use it here, I guess. And that it is, Nietzsche says that which doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So I'll just say, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. I guess maybe that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye now. Okay, as I said, this one last one, this will be like less than a minute, 30 seconds, you know. I picked this up at the library after work yesterday. It was donated, and I asked my supervisor if I could take it. So it's Valkyrie with Tom Cruise. I've seen this movie in the theater before. Not a bad movie about a historical plot to kill Hitler. It really happened in real life, and Tom Cruise plays a Nazi who tries to make that happen. But you know history. So, but this is a good movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I don't know when I'll watch it, but free movie, you know, why not? So that's the end of the video. Remember, that which cannot kill you makes you stronger, which is a quote from Nietzsche, which is, that which cannot kill me makes me stronger. So I think it's going to become my new catchphrase. Anyways, I'll be having, I'm going to try to release my Terminator video and my polarizing directors video, sort of sometime in this same time period as this video right here. So I'm still working on editing the Terminator video, and then I'm going to edit the polarizing directors one, and then I'm going to look through this very one here. I'm going to record them to my hard drives, and then I'll load them up to YouTube. Enough talk. All right, have a good day. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Bye now.